Hello, 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 and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. I am just drinking on some Kool-Aid today because had it with my dinner, so there we go. And I still have some water, a little bit of water left.
It's a
Only a
different
day.
bottle.
Different
It's
bottle.
a different bottle. It's a different bottle.
Only a day. Only a day. So, there we go. We have that. But I also have my cup mug. And, we do have a panel full of cup mugs. Panel full of cup mugs. Boop, 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 boop. People are idiots. Edition. People are idiots edition. And we'll talk about why people are idiots.
We'll talk about it.
But you can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, so there are no excuses. Unless your postal service decides to move a little bit slow, but that's okay because it's all right. It's okay. We're not tripping. It's good. It's not a delay. It's never a deny. It will get there. I promise. So get your cup merch. Period.
And hello, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel, and I am not being held hostage.
No, I decided not
Just need to specify. Just need to specify, not being held hostage. I'm here of my own free will.
I mean, I decided.
As long as that man doesn't do anything.
I hold the button, and I promise you, Jack, he won't move.
Okay, good. That's all I need to hear. And
you're
just have, yeah. And I just have some lovely root beer. Olipop want to sponsor us? Please do. It's actually really good. And then I also just have some water.
Cool. Yeah. I decided not to hold Jack hostage today. And I did kind of force him to come back, but I refused to hold him hostage.
She said that having a job is not an excuse, and I will make sure you're here even if I have to get you fired, which is a totally normal thing to do for a podcast.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right. That's how all podcasts work. Oh, of course. We expect you to be here. So.
They still haven't found Brooke, though.
No.
Brooke is somewhere.
Brooke is off the grid. Like, we're having a hard time finding that one. Slippery person that one is. But anyway.
Not that one.
That one is slippery.
Oh my God.
That one is slippery. But I will get my hands on them soon enough, Brooke. Okay. Anyway. Hey, y'all. Just know those are all jokes. Just jokes. But we are here talking about Australian Survivor, episode 9, and things is getting weird in the Outback. It's getting weird.
This is definitely turning into an interesting dynamic for a post swap, where actually this time around the pre-swap tribes really matter to the point where people are screwing over various things to make sure they matter.
Yeah.
This is easily the farthest we've ever seen this sort of strategy go. And
interesting.
It's so interesting.
But before we dive completely into that, y'all know what to do. Hit the subscribe button on this channel here. We are on a mission, folks. And we are trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And so we need your help. We need you. If this is your first time checking us out, thank you. Welcome. We appreciate you. We are on a mission so we can unlock a lot of things that happens when you get to 1,000 subscribers and fun things. So we're excited to do that. And we are on a mission to make it happen. Our part is we're going to give you all the best content that we can give on time at a time and where things are still relevant in your mind. And all we ask of you is to subscribe. That's it. It's free. Just do it. Please and thank you. And we'll continue to do all the things that we have to do so you can appreciate what we got going on here. Also, we have 3 other channels that you can subscribe to if you would like. If you're a fan of drag or drag race, at the Cup Pod. If you're a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, at the Cup ESC. And if you're a fan of WWE Wrestling, at the Cup Ringside. Also, our audio podcast links are down in the description below as well. So you can check those out if you need to check us out on the go. And our Patreon link is down there as well. So you can see what we do when we're not talking about Australian Survivor and Drag Race and the Eurovision Song Contest and wrestling. Get to know the pod. Get to know the panel. Get to know us. And we have some fun things planned. So check out our Patreon as well. Yeah, so Jack, let's get into it because there was some craziness happening. We heard the master plan at the tribal of the last episode, and so today was the day to see if this master plan was going to actually come to fruition. And but we start off.
By golly, it did. But
we start off at the Brains tribe, and
I will say, I think this is the most difficult thing to talk about. We literally are going, oh yeah, so at the Brains tribe, but actually it's about the old Brawn. No, like that Brawn. Yeah. That Brawn over there.
Yeah. But the original Brawn is definitely have taken over the Brains camp. We see we see Miles still at it. He was doing this last episode, just yap away, trying to far too much, trying to find his footing in with this Bronze tribe, but he should see really clearly that there is no opening with that group. But he's trying and he's telling everything and talking, and he knows he's doing too much talking. Like he's been told he's doing too much talking, and he's still talking. And he's like, I'm just trying to find my footing. I'm just trying to get in with this group because I was at the bottom of the Braves tribe. I know what it's like being at the bottom. Don't want to be at the bottom. Trying to figure it out. And it was just a lot. But he's still talking. He was talking too much.
He's still talking. It's so much. I mean, I understand it because at a certain point they've been talking about, like, they almost at the time they decided, like, hey, like they just merged, they're figuring things out, they're like, you know, it probably is gonna be miles to go. Like, he just is not connected. He's not super well connected with the other brains. Mm-hmm. It's just the easiest thing to kick off first, and then we can go further. And he's just continued to talk himself into a hole. At this point, he is talking about how screwed he is on this tribe to the people on his tribe. It's full on self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. And it sucks because I love Miles to death.
Adorable.
But we also know that there is essentially nothing out there for him to find and save himself because Max has the idol. Right. So at this point, it is quite literally just a matter of time until the until the new brains lose.
Right.
That Miles just gets thrown off the boat.
Absolutely. And it's just like, it's like we know this is happening. We see it, the writing's on the wall. Miles sees it, everybody sees it. And Max is just twisting the knife because Max is going over there to Jesse, is like, it's Miles, right? Like, it gotta be Miles. And Jesse's like, yeah, it is. And he's like, I mean, and I'll be happy to do it because the jungle rat has to go. He just has to go. And I'm like, okay.
This is
right.
a little much. You've literally had at this point like nearly a week. Basically, if I'm thinking right, we've almost had like a good business week of days
Mm-hmm.
from when they voted out Allie
Mm-hmm.
because she was doing too much.
Doing too much. Mm-hmm.
And Max has kind of just never let this go. But he also is kind of like, I wouldn't mind working with Laura, but I don't really like Zara either.
Right.
I'm just going to like fully book it to the Brawn because I see them as a better option, which
We'll talk about.
yeah,
We
it's
will.
just, I will say there is something about this whole episode, and we'll notice it more and more as it goes on, but we get basically no confessionals from the new Brains tribe,
Mm-hmm.
except from
Max
Miles
and Max.
and Max.
Yeah.
There are a couple outlying points from a couple other old Brains people, Logan and Zara and Lauren and Laura come to mind specifically as those who actually get a voice, but we don't really get a good voice at all this episode from any of the OG Brawn on the Brains tribe.
No.
Which is, I think, a good we'll talk about it a little bit later, but I do actually like the decision that was made here.
I mean, I feel like
smart.
I feel like it was because they really didn't need their own individual voice because they were moving so much as a unit. Like everything that they did throughout this entire episode was about a unit. And so it just goes to show how tight that 5 truly is, because they were just like, we won't,
we're not going to fold.
We're not going to fold. We just have to figure out what's the best way to do it. And they just didn't need to have individuality in this episode because everything they did was a unit. But everything the original Brains did was very individualistic. Like everything was about me, everything. So we do go to the Bronze Tribe camp, and AJ,
one person is happy. One person is happy on that camp.
Everybody else is kind of just like, this is weird waking up. This is an odd day. I don't know how to feel. Are we excited? We're not. And AJ's like, well, I'm happy. Anybody else happy? Because I'm happy. I'm so very happy. And I'm just like, AJ. And he is so clueless about what he did, how that affected the people within the tribe and how he wanted to, and the people he wanted to work with. I'm just like, okay. So he goes off and he's like we see Kristen talking to Noonan and Paulie, and then she's just like, AJ is, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like AJ. I don't like how he feels like he's running this entire game and we're just letting him do it. I don't like it. And she's one of the people that AJ is like, I really want to work with you. I really want to work with you. He pulled her to the side after she went on her rant of how she did not like this move because it got rid of the one person who was closest to her in Ursula. And so she's like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And now he's pulling her aside like, I want to work with you. I want you to be really close, and we can be, you can tell me if something I'm saying is idiotic and crazy, and I'll do the same for you. Well, I wouldn't tell you you're an idiot, but I would just say, like, I don't think that's the right plan, or blah, blah, blah. And she's just like,
okay.
Okay.
Sure.
No, you're great. No, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. You're right, and I will tell you because we're close. We're tight. We're gonna get through this
We're
together.
perfectly close. I mean, AJ's literally like, so have you watched like much Survivor? Because like, oh, you haven't? Because you're like so good at this game. You're like so social and so likable, and like you're kind of a perfect player. And I genuinely can't tell if he's exaggerating this to like kind of try and draw her in more, or if he's genuinely gushing at this point and is like, I really want to work with you. Like, I really trust you. And this is all after he basically called her a hostage.
Hostage.
Like, the situation that is happening right now is AJ has basically stood up to the tribe, said, I am in complete control. Every single OG Brawn that is on this tribe is at my will to go home whenever I see fit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I really like you. Like, is he trying to inspire like some Stockholm syndrome? Like, I don't get it. I genuinely cannot understand.
Honestly, I just felt in that moment, it felt very Mean Girl to me. Like, oh my God, that skirt, it's so pretty. That is so pretty. That's such a pretty skirt you're wearing. And then she walks up, that's the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it felt like that to me.
Mhm.
It felt like, you're so great at this game. I think you're so natural at this. And then when she walks off, she's an idiot, and I will destroy her in this game. Like, that's what I felt like was going on in his inner thoughts. Now, I don't know that to be true. It just felt it to me.
My honest thought is that AJ is so far on cloud nine that he genuinely is saying that to be real.
Ugh.
Like, I think he genuinely thinks he's in so much control that he can talk like this. Because we've seen that out of the men on the Brains tribe when they think they have any type of control, literally outside of Miles and Kaylin.
Mm-hmm.
Because Miles has never been in control. Okay, no, he was.
He was.
Like,
Before 2 seconds before the swap happened.
And he was fine with it, but we never saw that boil. And Kaylin is the one male on the entirety of the Brain tribe who is actually just playing it smart and being like, okay, yeah,
Yep.
that works.
Yep. We have seen power go to the head of these men so quickly, and it's just wild to see. But after that conversation, after all that happens at the Bronze tribe, we then go right to the challenge.
Simple.
And I was like, oh, so we're no longer doing reward challenges. I said that yesterday, and I was like, huh.
Yeah, I mean, what I assume it is it's simply they're just moving the game along at a quicker pace because
Cool.
They're just having it be 2-day runs, 3 days.
Cool.
Nice and simple.
But no, right to the immunity challenge. And the immunity challenge, they all come in, they line up, the Brains tribe see that Ursula is gone. They're shocked that Ursula's gone. They're like, oh, you got rid of the muscle. That's wild.
Literally, they all took bets, and no one bet on Ursula going. Yeah. Which is
interesting. I mean, they were like, so who did you think? And they were like, we are not telling you that.
That's not our problem. Y'all can deal with that later.
Even though I think it was Noonan. Either Noonan or Kristen.
My honest thought is they bet it was Noonan.
After that abysmal challenge yesterday, I would have put my money on Noonan too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so this challenge, before they even get to the challenge, they're shocked that Ursula's going, and JLP is like, so AJ, would you like to shed some light on what happened? And AJ's like, I would like to do that, JLP. Thank you. So what we have here is a hostage situation. And then the brainstorm was like, wait, what? He's like, we have hostages over here now. And in order for you, if you want to go into merge with the numbers, you probably need to start throwing these challenges. If you throw the challenges, we win. We don't send the hostages on, walking the plank on the home. But if we lose, we will just be picking off a Brawn member one by one. And
basically, everyone just goes, "What the fuck?"
Laura, Nara, Max, and Miles are like, so you can care less about us. And he's just like,
yeah, basically.
Sure, basically, because one of y'all gonna go, I'm sure. He literally declares war on this whole tribe with the Brawn originals having the numbers. And he's just like, so y'all need to start losing so y'all can keep y'all people or y'all win.
And we take a hostage. We take a hostage. We literally walk them off the plank. And what is with this season and having bold plays in front of everyone that make no fucking sense? Like, I genuinely cannot understand how every single episode someone has come up with a plan that makes them public enemy number one every time. What is going on? Did you cast every single firework person you could on one season?
It is the wildest thing. And so now Zara's like, so you're hanging us out to dry? And he's like, I mean, I guess so. But I'm just like, oh my God. So they're like, okay. And so JLP's like, let's start the challenge then. So they have to swim out, get these sandbags on a sled, on a canoe or something, and bring it back into shore, unload the sandbags.
Unload like just 15 basic slats of wood that just have a giant puzzle on them.
And you slide it up, and then you put the puzzle together. Once the puzzle's solved, then you take these balls with your name on it, and everybody has to throw the balls up and hit and stay on top of these tall mantles. And once everybody's ball is on these tall poles thingies, they win. And so everybody's like, okay, let's do it. So they start, and right away, Ben and Jesse and PD all of a sudden can't pick up a sled.
I mean, I really guess they really needed Ursula. I mean, no, like
they all of a sudden could. It was too heavy.
It was too heavy. Even with Ursula gone, Brawn had no problem.
No, Brawn picked it up and walked it the whole way.
I mean, obviously, the only way to explain this is that the production team loaded 3 extra tons of sandbags onto the Brain sled.
Or they were just throwing it.
Or they were throwing it. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
The Brawn unloaded immediately, get the canoe to position, start tying it off, and then we finally hear Ben tell Jesse, go as slow as you can. And then PD and Morgan talk and go, are we throwing this? And PD goes, yeah, we're throwing this. Somehow, this crazy plea, because just to be clear, the only way that AJ's plan actually works is if the Brawns just benefit. So there's no reason for the OG Brawns not to violently throw this challenge because they can't get ahead without them.
Right.
So, I mean, we even have, before the challenge, Zara and Kate be like, look, we'll sit out of this challenge. As long as y'all are not going to take AJ's offer and throw this. Like, please don't do that to us. At least play fair.
Right. And they did not play fair. They didn't play fair at all. They
didn't play fair at all. And I have a note at the very, very end of this as to what we see in the preview, but I have some words because, I mean, this is a challenge that quite literally one person can just say, I am not completing this challenge, and the tribe cannot win. It is straight up over if they don't throw their ball onto the perch, because everyone has to do it.
Yep.
So, of course, this is the perfect challenge for that to occur.
Yep. And we see them taking their time. And so once we get to the puzzle, here's where more of the foolishness starts to happen. Because we get to the puzzle, and the Brawn tribe was putting together this puzzle very quickly. They figured out what was the bottom and then what they could work off of that. And they started, and they were like, oh, this says something. Oh. And so as they put the slacks together, they realized that this thing is a clue to something. And it says an idol is
one of the sandbags contains an idol.
One of the sandbags. So before the Brains tribe could even get to that point of putting the puzzle together, Jesse takes off.
Laura takes off.
Then Laura takes off. Then Ben takes off. Then PD takes off. And then Morgan takes off. So they're all gone. So Max and Miles are the only ones trying to put this puzzle together. Miles is flipping out. He's like, come on. Just put the puzzle together. Just put the puzzle together.
And Max is like screaming, there is no idol. It's a lie. Let's keep going. And Morgan looks up and says, no, it's written up there. They wouldn't lie to us.
They wouldn't lie to us and tell us.
Literally written in plain text.
Right.
I'm not stopping.
And so they're all looking for idols. So the Brawn tribe, they put their puzzle together and they were like, okay, once you throw your ball and they hit up there, you can go start looking for an idol. It was like,
which is fair. I mean, there's literally that 100% is probably how the challenge was originally designed to go.
Yeah.
Because either you would have someone who randomly runs off and goes searching for it and fucks the entire team.
Right.
Or you have everyone agree, okay, do the part of the challenge that only you can do and then go search for the idol.
Right.
So we see that unified front from Brawn and
it was just crazy. Like, they are doing what they're supposed to do, the Brawn tribe is, and they doing like throwing it and going. The other team ain't even thinking about it. So Miles and Max finally get all the puzzle together. And they're like, so Miles is like, come on, just go throw the ball. You just look for it. You've looked. If you ain't found it, you ain't found it. Miles walks right to that water, yelling at these people, and they like ignoring him. And he looks down and said, I got the idol. Let's go. And I was like,
what? The bag is just floating in the water. Miles looks down and goes, I have it. Let's finish the challenge now. There is no need for y'all to do this anymore. Which, why didn't Max and Miles just run into the water anyway? Just try and find it. Stop them from throwing that part of the challenge and giving them a reason to throw. And basically have someone claim the idol and go, I have the idol. At this point, you were either publicly throwing because you have no reason to stall, or we're going to go finish the challenge.
All right. And if you publicly throwing, then we go figure out which one of y'all finna go, because we go all be protected.
But
but
I gotta compliment the designers here. This is quite literally, I think, one of the best twists we have seen in a challenge on basically any version of the show, where it's just like,
yeah,
you are now given a dilemma on how you want to approach. There literally being an idol behind you, confirmed in front of everyone, and you
right.
can stop your tribe's progress to go grab the idol.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, in this scenario, this was, I think, the worst possible scenario, where it's like, oh, we have a tribe directly throwing. Great. Okay, we know who wins.
Right. But Karen is the last person on the Brawn tribe to try to throw her ball up, and she just can't get it. Like, she can't get it. And the Brains tribe, after Miles finds the idol, they come back, and everybody just starts making it. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. If y'all tell me that the Brains tribe come back and actually win, I will scream. Because Karen can't throw her ball up there, I would die. That didn't happen though, because Braun did win.
But
Obviously got it. Good on her.
We do have an interesting note, because really quickly, a lot of the Brawn get it and run, and they all agree, okay, let's just go look for the idol. We have nothing else to do. Once you throw your ball up, get it done. And basically, we have everyone in the water. And
who comes up with it? Yep.
Kristen finds it and tries to hide it in order to just benefit
the tribe.
The Brawn objective of not letting everyone know.
Noonan. Kristen has it. All right, Kristen found it. And I was like,
oh.
Why?
What? It doesn't make any sense. But
why would you say that? You could have been like, okay, I know Kristen has it. That's what you're just gonna be like, all right, let's keep it going. And so we can use that for the benefit of us going forward to get one of them out. But no. Now they all know that Noonan has it. I mean, that Kristen has it, because Noonan wanted to scream that out. I was like,
okay.
No, Noonan. But Braun's win. They don't have to go to tribal. We'll see Brains at tribal. And so we go back to the Brains tribe camp, and scramble is what it's time for. It is time for the scramble, everybody. This is my favorite part of Survivor.
This is the best part of Australian Survivor. For some reason, those scrambles are just so much meatier. I don't know what it is.
They are just much more meatier, and they just like, okay, here for it. But we see them like getting, and the Brawn's original Brawn are like, so do we talk to them, or do we just go talk to each other first? And you're like, let's just go make a plan. They're making no bones about it that this 5 is a unit. Like I said, they are moving in a unit. They're going to the water well. They're going to get wood. They do everything together. And they're not hiding the fact that that's what they're doing. And so they go to make their plan. They were like, this was supposed to be easy because Miles was going to be the vote. Miles was going to be the one to go. But now that he has his idol, we got to figure something out. And they were like, is Miles the one to use it for himself, or will he use it for someone else? But we have to split the vote now. We have to split it and figure out how to make this work for us. And so the first plan that they came up with was, we'll put 3 on Max. No, 4 on Miles. 3 on Miles.
It's even simpler. Literally, the first plan they come up with is, okay, we're voting Max instead. Yeah. It is literally as simple as that, where they all go,
we'll vote Max and we'll put a few on Miles to flush the item.
Yep, that's it.
That's the plan.
And just to be clear, Max has no idea in any of this and thinks that all of the Brawn are completely loyal to him. As we hear from the 5 confessionals basically in a row that we get from Max of like, I am loyal to the Brawn and they are all loyal to me. We never
And
stop hearing this man think that everyone is loyal to him.
he is like so sure he has been putting in the work and he is in good with the Brawn, original Brawn, that they're going to make sure he's safe. He's good. Don't worry about him. It's going to be Miles. Well, we'll figure out how we can make it Miles. Or if now that Miles has the idol, Miles or Zara, because he doesn't like Zara either. So he's going to make sure the votes fall on either Miles or Zara. And then he's going to convince Miles to use his idol and give it to Zara, and they still vote Miles out. That was his whole plan in his head, that this was going to work. And he was talking to Jesse, and Jesse was like, yeah. He was like, we could do 3 R3, 3 and 3 on Miles and Zara. And then they do their 3 on somebody. And then when the revote happens, all of us just put it on Miles.
I actually do want to state that is Max's suggestion.
Yeah, exactly.
The brains never say anything to Max of like, other than, yeah, you're good. Like, it's delicious how, I mean, I guess from an outside perspective, it's so obvious, but we kind of get a moment of like, okay, we are seeing someone fully delude themselves.
Yep.
It's just a mess.
A huge mess. And he is for sure thinking that this is what's happening. This is the plan. And everybody's on board with it. But we have never seen, like you said, the original Brawn ever say anything like that. So after Max makes all these plans, he then goes to Laura because he likes Laura. And he wants to work with Laura. And he tells Laura, hey, look, I'm Brawn. I'm joining with these Brawn, and you should do it too, because this Brains tribe thing is it's sinking. Because he had a conversation with the Brains of Laura, Zara, Miles, and Max, and they kind of agreed to do the 4 working together, and he was just like, yeah.
And it was basically just Laura the entire time going, okay, we have an out here.
Yes.
Let's just work as a 4. Max, I want to talk to you as directly as possible. We are going to work as a 4. And
Max.
we're going to be strong because we have a chance to actively break this majority.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole reason that Max is not okay with this is straight up it's ego. It is straight up ego. Yeah. Max is like, well, I don't want to do that. So we're not going to do that. We're not doing it. I don't have to give you anything. I'm just going to smile and nod and listen to your plan and then immediately run off. It is.
He didn't like how Zara talked to him. Zara told him if he flipped on them, she would kill him. And he didn't like that. So he's like, I don't like Miles. I don't like Zara. I don't want to
like
work
her
with
bedside manner.
Which
what?
What?
Why is she a nurse? Bringing that up?
Is she a nurse? Is she a doctor?
What?
Anyway, this man is
genuinely so infuriating. And Laura, as this is happening, is going, are you kidding me?
What?
You're an idiot. What are you doing?
He's like, no, I think you should join me, and we need to join with the Brawn because I think, and she's like, do you know you'll be at the bottom of that alliance? If we get to merge, you'll be at the bottom of that alliance. He's like, I'm
No,
not
I don't think
concerned
so.
about that. I don't think that's true. I think I have worked at Real Bridges, and I think they trust me, and I think we are good, and I won't be at the bottom of their alliance. I'm like, you absolutely think that they actually threw a challenge to save the people who are on the other tribe just to put you above them? Hello?
You have
Hello?
known these people for 5 business days. You saw what happened when Rich went over there and thought he was good with them. And then he was basically taken out back and shot. Like, they are
Hello?
so tight and they are not letting you in. At best, you are the bottom of that alliance, and you will literally be you. Congratulations. You've put yourself from the middle to the end of the conveyor belt of you being eliminated. Like it's genuinely so infuriating to see someone just not listen to reason.
Mind boggling.
Laura in this moment goes, I can't reason with him. So the only option I have is to fold and work with him.
And I was like, no, it's not.
I agree. I agree only because there is obviously a hierarchy of this kind of basically the ranking of the brain members within the mind of the Brawn tribe. And it's kind of Laura and Zara, then Max, then Miles. If Max goes and tells the Brawn that, yeah, no, Laura isn't interested, suddenly that can flip. And with Miles having an idol, suddenly Laura or Zara is now in the firing line. So I get the idea where basically Laura just says, this plan is burned. There is nothing we can do because we will never have the votes. So Laura essentially goes, I don't have agency. I guess that works, and we have to just figure out another plan. And then Laura goes to Zara and tells her, Max is out. I'm 100% sure on this. We need to basically convince Miles to, and also Zara is the other name.
Yeah.
Zara's the other name, mostly because Max threw that out.
Max put it out there. Max put that out
there.
But
that part just suddenly didn't appear from Max. The name is either Miles or Zara, and Miles has an idol, so obviously Zara is the name to go.
Yep.
So instead, Laura and Zara look at each other and go,
we have to.
No matter how much we don't want to do this, we're going to have to convince Miles to play the idol on you, Zara, and get himself voted out.
Yep.
And this really hurt Zara.
Yeah, she didn't want to do that. She was like, I don't want to do this because Miles is someone who's very close to me. I've been close to him. I don't want to do this. But I need to save my own butt. And so you saw it in her eyes when Miles came over and Laura was like, yeah, I think it's probably going to be between you and Zara. And Miles was like, and they'll probably put it on her because they know you have the idol. So he was like, I'll be happy to play it for her. And Zara was like, I kind of need you to play it for me. And in her eyes, she hated it. She didn't want to do that to Miles, but she knew she needed to save herself in this game, which I get. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. It's your only option.
It's your only option. So she was like, yeah. And so Miles was like, oh, yeah, I'll be happy to play it for you. And if they put the votes on you, I'm safe, you're safe, we're all good. And so that's what they were going to do. But then we go have an OG Brawn meeting one more time. And they're like, do we trust that Max is saying is true? Ben was like, nope, don't trust it. Jesse was like, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. It's like he was in the middle, kind of like. And so they're like, so what do we do? They were like, I think we should just stick to the original plan.
They just pin him as so desperate to do anything that it must be a plan.
Right.
Like there has to be something wrong. They even are like, does Max have an idol? Like, would that make any sense? And Jesse literally shoots it down, is like, no, he's way too paranoid. This is way too genuine.
And he actually does, because we see him bring out his idol several times in these confessions, like, by saving grace. Mwah.
My saving grace, Jezebel. Oh, Jezebel. If I hear any bad words about me at Tribal tonight, I'm just going to use it on myself. You know, if I get any red flags whatsoever. But there are no red flags because the Brawn completely want me.
Right. That's it. They want me. So I'm not worried that they're going to come for me. Not worried at all. And so we get to Tribal Council.
Yeah. And I mean,
it's very much like, you all have the numbers, OG Brawn. Was this an easy decision? And they were like, it should have been, but then Miles, literally telling Miles it was going to be you. Like, it should have been, but then Miles got the immunity idol, and it kind of put a wrinkle in the plans. We had to readjust some things and figure some things out. But it's still, we knew where we were going when it happened, and so it's pretty solid what we have. And then JLP asked Max, like, what is this vote for you? Like, what is your vote based on? And he was like, my vote is based on building trust, building bridges, because the people who I want to go forth and see in this game, and who I feel like I would want to go to merge with, and I want to show them that I'm trying to build this bridge with you. I'm here for you. And I think we can steamroll this. And I was just like, huh.
That is a lot of words that, like, if you were just working with the OG brains, you would not be saying.
Or steamrolling anything.
And also that he's a swing vote and he has full power here and he can decide everything. He gasses himself up.
Yep.
So much.
He has put, and Laura could do nothing but agree with him. Like, yeah, he is the swing vote. I guess he does this, and everybody's like, yeah, this is how it's gonna be, and we just have to see where the chips fall,
And I mean, everyone is just, and honestly, Miles is just like, yeah, I'm on the side here. Like, I'm just doing what I can. I know I was the target, so I'm just doing what I can.
Just doing what I can to do what I can. And so JFP was like, well, I guess we won't know until we vote, huh? And the vote happens. And so when JLP comes back, and he says, of course, if anybody has an idol and would like to use it, now is the time to do so. And of course, Miles gets up because he's wearing the idol. So he takes the idol off, and he hands it to JLP and was like, I'm using it for myself. And in that moment, Zara was like, oh, well,
can't that's the end of my game. I mean, he did the best move for himself. I mean, obviously, Max is talking this big thing about swing votes and all that. Whether or not, we don't actually really know if
Right.
Miles was kind of scared into it by Max talking all of this, or if that was kind of his plan all along. But
Miles was like, one more
Miles,
day. One more day.
one more day. I'll just take one more day
Just
here.
take one more day.
Nice and
Because
easy.
he made a point. He was like, yeah, I have an idol now, but I won't have it tomorrow. And if we lose again, it's gonna be me. So
I'd rather take allies.
right.
I'd rather have an ally than an idol.
Right. And so the votes go, and the first vote is Miles. Does not count. Miles does not count.
Yeah.
Kate. Okay.
Kate, who Miles
voted for.
The Miles threw out Kate as like a name because that's essentially he just thought sociable, likable,
right,
everything. But I mean, that was the name Miles threw out.
Right. We get another Miles. Does not count. Then it was Max. And Max was like,
oh, that's weird.
And then another vote, Max.
Oh no.
And then another vote, Max.
Laura is shocked. Max is shocked. Zara is shocked. Miles is smiling.
But
is smiling but clearly shocked.
And it was just like, Max. Max is the next person voted out. With the whole Jezebel idol in his pocket. And your reaction right there was my reaction, except I was much louder and rolling around on the bed, cackling.
Oh.
Cackling.
I will say, unfortunately, I decided to look at Twitter this morning without thinking. So I had a good feeling that Max was going home because I had seen like, oh, Max is such an amazing player. I'm like, great. But this was amazing.
Baby, I cackled, I screamed, I threw my head back, I laughed. I was like, you did all of that. Scrambling and talking and telling us how everybody trusted you and liked you and you weren't going to be at the bottom of any alliance because they had your back and they were loyal to you, only for you to get the same treatment as Rich.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I mean, and we do find out via the final votes. Miles voted for Kate, as he said.
Mm-hmm.
Laura, Mac, Zara, PD.
All voted for Miles.
All voted for Miles. Wait, do I have that right? Yeah, no, I have that right.
Yep. Kate.
I feel like I mixed something up.
No. Kate.
Okay, no,
Morgan, Ben.
Kate, Morgan, Ben. Ben, Jesse, Kate, and Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan. Yeah. Kate, Morgan, Ben, and Jesse all voted for Max.
So, I mean, the reason I had it mixed up in my head, I could have sworn for a moment that Kate had also voted for Miles because obviously they were trying to split it 4-4. Mm-hmm. I was trying to figure out exactly how that broke down. But yeah, I mean, we have basically I'm double checking my own notes here. Yeah. We have the original 3 brains flipping on Miles.
Yep.
And then PD supporting them, which is interesting.
Unknowingly,
we genuinely don't know.
He didn't know.
He didn't know. He couldn't have. And then Ben, Jesse, Kate, and Morgan all voting for Max.
Yep.
So we are going to go back to camp with this tribe. Miles knowing
his own people flipped on him.
His own people flipped on him. Max is gone. And now essentially the Brawn can hold the other 3 brains just hostage. Which we see in the preview for the next episode. Both tribes are seemingly throwing the challenge at the same time. And
this is annoying.
This is very annoying because I mean, obviously, I will say that I have been in a situation in the game where just like the entire tribe is throwing to purposely, the majority of the tribe is throwing to screw 2 or 3 people because they don't want any of their allies going and they know that merge is very soon. And I was playing for $0.00 and I was pissed because I was like, I can't do anything. Like, I'm just gonna go home and now I just have to wait. Which I literally can't say anything other than like it sucks to see that as a prominent strategy of, well, I guess we're just gonna send you both to tribal now. Like, what can we do? Because that was what was essentially threatened in the preview is if both tribes fail to complete the challenge, both tribes go to tribal.
And it's just stupid. It's so stupid. These whole tribal lines, after a while, it gets so old and so stupid. It's like, I'm so sick of it. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens next week.
We'll see what happens because I'm sure that at least the brains is going to be a very, very entertaining watch. But
draft update. Finally, y'all got off my neck this week because my God.
Yeah, no, you got decimated. Holy shit.
This week, y'all were on my freaking neck.
Oh my God.
Sick of it. I was sick of it. But thankfully, we moved on from me and we got another one from Logan out this week. So, Brooke is still holding strong with just one person gone, but I have a feeling that won't last too much longer.
I have a feeling that it's probably not going to end well.
But
at least 1, if not 2 people on that tribe.
But that's the update. It's sickening. It's disgusting. I was very happy though that it was not me again because I would have been very annoyed.
I cannot imagine.
But that is all we got, y'all. We have talked all that we can. We've said enough. We said everything that we need to say about Survivor Australia episode 9. But we will be back next week to talk about episode 10, 11, and 12, unless they are switching to 2 nights a week. We don't know yet. But whenever they do, we'll be for those days and we'll be here. But we'll be back to talk all things Australian Survivor. Y'all know what to do. Subscribe to this channel. If you made it through this whole hour of hearing us talking about Survivor Australia, you should at least hit the subscribe button. That would be great. We appreciate you for doing that. And help us make our goal of getting 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. You can follow all of our other channels. All those links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links and our Patreon, and where you can find your merch at lanagcreation.etsy.com. That link is down there as well. And you can follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow Jack and myself at those platforms as well. And my Instagram is the other way, right there. That's the Instagram right there. And you can follow us on all of those platforms. That'll be great. And we're going to get out of here. So, cheers, y'all.
Cheers.